Hello, friends. Um, I'm at a loss of words with this one, honestly. I don't know if there's much. I usually can get very granular in my that is very specific in what kind of commentary I can offer, what insights I might glean into my experience, but there's not much other way to put this except that the Hades sounds muffled. It does. It does. Now, if HBB, Hawaiian Bad Boy, or BGGR, he goes by different names, Bad Guy Good Audio Reviews, is watching this, I want you to know that I respect you more than I think I can respect anyone else in this hobby, honestly. The way that you have a musical sense of things, the way that you appreciate music first, experience first, is a beautiful thing. And I don't want to undervalue that to anyone else listening to this. But I don't understand the perspective on this one. Maybe we could talk on a live stream or something. Maybe we could, I could pick your brain about what's happening. Maybe you'll leave a comment on this video and I'll pin it and we can have a conversation there. But help me understand what the appreciative value is here. What vantage point am I supposed to be? What's the intention of the artist, the tuner? This is clearly very different than the previous work of the QKZ HBB, right? We just heard that. I love the QKZ HBB. I think the QKZ HBB is the masterwork of Hawaiian Bad Boy, of BGGAR. I think the QKZ HBB is the best thing he's ever produced, and I actually prefer it over his Ratgo Hook X. I prefer it over X, Y, or Z other things. I prefer it over every other warm set we're going to listen to today. And speaking of, guys, let's get right to it. Because the Hades is such a warm, obviously a very warm experience, very low-end dominant and very absent in the upper end, sparkle or clarity. Let's compare it to the other stuff out there that people usually would look for who are seeking warm. We've listened to the HBB, now let's listen to the Legato. Does that offer anything different or something that we should consider when searching for a warm or bassy set?
The dark sends the pounding of her heart next to mine. She's the sweetest love I could find. So I guess I'll be hunting high and low. There's no end to the lengths I'll go to. High and low. Do you know what it means to love
I've never been anything but honest about my takes on the Legato, but it's another one of these things that I just don't understand the tonal balance choices, at least for my personal preference set, okay? The Legato is definitely one of these big bassy presences, but that upper end balance, the tonal balance on the upper end, I can't help but describe it as funky, okay? I just get a funk. It seems like off, all right? I don't mean to be offensive to whoever likes it, okay? I know somebody's going to take it personally. I'm sure the person who designed the Legato is it would take it personally because that's their taste, and it would be like, oh, you don't appreciate my art, and I don't, and I don't mean that in a way to offend you or anybody else who appreciates it. I don't want to yuck anyone else's yum. If you enjoyed the Legato, if you at home thought that the tonal balance in the upper end of the Legato and its crazy large sub-bass presence or what have you was just your bag, it was your cup of tea, then I appreciate you and your opinions. You go for it. I'm not the kind of reviewer who's going to poo-poo and judge people necessarily anymore. I'm much more zen these days, okay? I'm chill with everybody. I'm really trying to be. But personally, I don't like it. It sounds funky to my ears. I can't help it. And the HBB, when it comes back on, I'm just like, ah, it's so refreshing. It's such a beautiful balance. This video is supposed to be about the Hades, but the Hades is really just, it's a muffled pillow around my ears. That's what I get from it. And so this whole video is really just becoming like, okay, if we're looking into the warm territory, what IEM can we look at that I could recommend strongly? And so far, it's the reigning champion, and for a cheap, cheap price, the QKZ HBB. You already hit gold. Bad Guy Goody Audio Reviews. Everyone, buy his QKZ HBB. It is the best. It is the king of warm, with also maintaining detail. And this whole video is just here to prove that with demonstrations of the other guys next to it. So what are we going to listen to next? I have to refresh my brain. Okay, we're going to listen to the FUDU next. Now, this one's a little tougher in competition. It's definitely a different take on tonal balance, but let's listen to the timbre specifically. Okay, let's see if it sounds funky. Do we like the direction it's going compared to the HBB? How does it stack against the HBB?
Do you know what it means to love you? I'm hunting high and low, and now she's telling me she's got to go away. I'll always be hunting high and low, only for you. Watch me tearing myself to pieces, hunting high and low. There's no end to the lengths I'll go to. For you, I'll be hunting high and low.
All right. I'm going to give my concluding comments here with these two competitors before I give you guys a full track, really highlighting the FUDU and the HBB mostly, because I think that's where the real competition lies in terms of your what you should spend your money on here within the warm IEM market. This is a tough one. The HBB, I don't know how to put into words right now. I'm really lost for words. Maybe if I was more articulate, more able to pinpoint specific instrumentations or something, I could tell you like black and white, the HBB does this better and the FUDU does this better. But I don't think it's as simple as that, at least the way that I'm able to explore this. To me, the HBB, the QKZ HBB, might be my preference between that and the FUDU. If I had to pick between those two as like where are you going to spend your money on warm, I might say the HBB. But I like them both a lot for different sentimental reasons, like different qualitative reasons. Okay, forget specific instruments for a second and frequency ranges per se. There's something about the HBB that it almost sounds more cohesive to me. It almost sounds more naturally balanced. For some reason, my ear, when I hear the HBB, it just sounds more authentic to life somehow. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's not even true. But it's upper end balance compared to the FUDU's upper end balance, or in the mids or something. Maybe even lower than the upper end. Maybe it's the whole, kit and caboodle. But there's something about the frequencies of the HBB that makes me go, yeah, without any doubt in my mind. There's not one part of it that makes me scratch my head and say maybe there's something negative about it. It's really a masterpiece. There, I said it. It's a masterpiece in tonal balancing, especially for the budget. It's wonderful. The FUDU, though, is quite exciting. It has something, it adds a little bit more sparkle maybe in the upper end, or it like tweaks something a little bit that's not quite natural and authentic, but nonetheless piques the interest in a way that's passably good. It doesn't freak you out like that's too funky. Whereas stuff like the Legato, it's too funky for me. It pushes something in a direction that's just not my taste. And the Hades, it's just a pillow on my ears. I don't understand it. It's like somebody's stuffing something in me, in my ears, and I'm not allowed to listen to the whole thing or feel open and airy. So anyway, I'm sorry, HBB. I'm sure there was a lot of effort put into this. You're exploring. If nothing else, BGGAR HBB is his name, which makes it confusing when you're talking about these IEMs because one of them is called the QKZ HBB. But the guy HBB, the person, he is clearly, because I just complimented his other work, the QKZ HBB. He's a master. All right, he knows what he's doing. So there must be something that he is trying to do with this very unique set, the Hades, because I've heard 100+ IEMs, and I've never once heard something this warm, this lacking air. So he's clearly doing something. I just don't know what it is. That being said, please enjoy the last track and make your own decisions based on that. If you like my channel, if my commentary helps guide you, if my demos help guide you, please consider liking, subscribing, and becoming a Patreon supporter. Hey, and join us on Discord. We have some fun on there. See you guys. Have a good weekend.
Mm.